If you run an HVAC business and you're still scheduling jobs, writing invoices, dispatching, and doing your follow-ups manually, well, eventually things start slipping through the cracks. I'm Mikey from BizGlobe, where we test and review software specifically for HVAC and home service businesses. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through Housecall Pro. And I signed up for the free trial, ran some test jobs through it, and I'm going to show you what it looks like from inside, what works and where it falls short. I do want to point out that I do not work for Housecall Pro, nor do I get paid to say this, and this is an honest review. Now let's get started. This is what it looks like when you go on the Housecall Pro website, and as you can see, you can start a free trial here for 14 days. So this is where you plug in your email. I've already put mine in, so I'm just going to go ahead and log in. And here is the dashboard, and you can see how everything feels pretty clean. You have your tabs up here as far as what you want to control, your estimates, your jobs, your invoices, your service plans, employee status. You can put your text in here. You have a little map view, recent activity, and schedule. And just so I can show you real quick, this is the get started section. When you're first starting out, you can take about 20 to 25 minutes in here to basically build out your business info and get all the basic stuff in. I managed to set up a couple of estimates, schedules, and you can import your contacts, set up your payment, and boost your reviews in here as well. There's also this little product tour. It was like a 14-step little slideshow that you can get into, but let's go ahead and get started. So at the top here, you have, again, your home button that takes you back to your dashboard. You have your inbox, your schedule, your customers, my money, payroll, reporting, and more. And we will get started with the customer management with the CRM. And in here, every customer gets their own profile with estimates, job history, invoices, attachments, notes, property information, and communication history. So I've made a couple of customers in here already. So let me just go ahead and show you what one looks like. So for Elliot Browning, like I said, it's got his profile here to the left. It's got estimates, jobs, invoices, attachments, notes in here as well. You can add customer notes. But let me show you how to create a customer and click back real quick. So you can either input your customers right here if you already have a database from a different CRM or calendar, or whatever you guys use. You can import that in here. If you don't, you can just say, I don't have a customer list to import. And you can create a customer right here. And you just fill in all their info, first, last name, phone number, company. If they have a nickname or just a different display name that you want to show on invoices, home phone number, role, email, work phone number, a secondary email or phone number, whether it's a homeowner or a business. And you could mark it as do not service. You put their address in here. And the cool thing about this is when you put in their address, whether it's a residential or a business, a little photo or like a Google Maps photo pops up and it saves in their contact. For you guys that have a bigger customer base, you can add tags in here so it's easy to search them later on and filter them out that way. If it's getting built to someone else, a landlord or whatever, and you're able to add a lead source in here, there's a few that's already saved as a template in here, and you can always add any new ones. So as you can see, there's these ones right here. Let's see what's not on here. Let's put Yelp. And that's how you add a new one. And referred by, if it's referred by a family or friend or whatnot. Then you just go ahead and create customer. And the next thing I want to do is show you how to create an estimate. And this is probably one of the biggest areas that most HVAC companies care about. And Housecall Pro lets you build estimates pretty quickly directly from the desktop or the mobile. And I do want to add that I'm going to make a separate video for the mobile app, and I will go in depth on that. So just keep an eye out. Now, we can either create from scratch for an estimate, or you can add from templates. And there's already these built-in templates in here. If you wanted to install an AC, you can customize that obviously as far as pricing goes and all of that. So there's AC capacitor, furnace repair, AC repair. Let's go back to inspection. So let's do a no cooling diagnostic visit. And you just click on that and it automatically adds it in here. This is one line item and you can add another service in here, add materials. There is material price book, templates, and service book right here. So this is where you select those templates. There's also a service price book and you can customize this. You can customize the price, the service. Once you add it, you can edit all the notes and all of that. And then you just click on this pen tool and it'll let you zoom into this and you can adjust any description or unit cost price and if it's taxable. And later in the video, I'm going to show you how to set up the service price book. It was in the More tab up here. And yeah, we'll get into that a little later. Once you start adding your line services, the subtotal will come up here automatically. You can add discounts. You can set up your tax rate. You can add a deposit if you want. You can change that from a dollar amount to a percentage. So let's do 50%. So you have a deposit of $46. And then it does this cost breakdown with a profit and loss already automatically added up for you. You're also able to add any attachments, any videos, or any images, any tags right here again. You're able to add property profile, the lead source, private notes, fields, and a checklist for your text. So let me just show you that real quick. So these are built-in checklists. You can also create from scratch. And this just is very helpful for, when your techs are out on the field and they're running around and they're, doing their thing. This helps them not forget anything once they're at the property and just to go over that 13-step checklist. So once that's ready to go, you schedule it. It goes into your calendar so that you're able to see if you have availability. And this is for one tech that I've built out for myself. You're able to add employees later or on your own, and you'll be able to see their calendars in here as well. So for now, I'm gonna add them in here. Boom. You hit save. Now, once that's saved, and let's say 2 p.m. comes around, your tech sees the estimate. He hits this on my way button and it's got built-in GPS. So it will track your tech and it'll tell the customer exactly where he's at. When he gets to the property and does the scope of the work or the estimate, he's able to hit finish. And then once he's done and everything checks out, there's no added work that needs to be done and the estimate is ready to go. Go ahead and hit send. This will send to the customer and it looks just like this. And then it'll send an email out to Elliot Browning, subject line. You can change that. You can change the message, but this is what auto populates into there. Go ahead and hit send. Waiting for approval. Let's say Elliot gets it. He's good to go with everything. If he's even on the spot, is like, yeah, let's do it. You're able to go ahead and grab his signature, get the deposit from your mobile app and hit copy to job, and that starts the job. So that's a very easy, streamlined workflow. And once the job is done, so you can then add an appointment, same steps, hit the on my way button when tech is on the way. This is where tech hits the start button to start the job. And like I said, for the most part, the tech's going to be on the mobile app unless he's got an iPad or whatever. Once you hit starts, it starts a timer of when the job starts. And then you're able to hit finish. So it's basically like a little clock in, clock out. Then you hit invoice and you send that invoice to collect payment. Hit that. This is what the invoice looks like, similar to the estimate. And for payment options, you can connect your bank. And I'll show you how to do that later on as well. Hit send. An invoice will send to Elliot and hit pay. Paid amount. Payment amount is $92.15. Remaining job balance next. And then this is where you connect your bank and collect the payment from there. Let's go over the HVAC price book and the flat rate pricing. This is how you get to it. You hit more, there's marketing and price book. You have your services, materials, pricing forms, estimate templates, and your discounts. And here's all of that. You're also able to add a new category. Now, for HVAC companies specifically, flat rate pricing is a pretty big deal. Housecall Pro integrates with Profit Rhino for flat rate pricing and pre-built HVAC pricing estimates. This helps standardize pricing across your techs and speeds up estimating a lot. Now, one thing to know though is some HVAC contractors do mention that certain add-ons like the advanced flat rate pricing tools can increase the monthly cost pretty quickly. So if you're comparing software, definitely pay attention to what's included versus what's considered an add-on. All right, this is where you go for discounts, standard discounts, set up recurring job discounts, weekly discounts every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks. And this is where you add service plans as well. And pretty self-explanatory. Hit the plan name, plan description, any discounts that you want to apply, description for that discount and the amount, business units. This is the schedule, and we kind of looked at that a little bit earlier when I was building the estimate and the appointment for Elliot Brown. Now, let's say something comes up with Elliot's schedule and he's like, hey, I can't do it today. Can we do it tomorrow? You're able to go ahead and look at your calendar, see what you have available for the next day. And you can be like, hey, Elliot, I have tomorrow at 1 p.m. open for you. I'm going to go ahead and move that. You're able to notify the customer and move that appointment, just a drag and drop like that, very easily and very smooth. Now I want to go over the pricing just a little bit, and I'm going to hit this upgrade now button just so I can show you. So this is for the upgrade from the free trial, right? I'm not sure if there's regular flat plan or flat rate if you don't do the free trial, which I would highly suggest doing the 14-day free trial anyway. And it gives you a pretty good discount for your first month for the basic and for essentials. You get a $26 a month for those two. And for the max, which is for up to 8 or more users, you get it down to $99 for the first 3 months. And that's down from $329 a month. And, from after the first month and after the first 3 months for max, it goes up to $79 for basic, $189 for essentials, and $329 for the max. I'm going to go ahead and show you the features that each plan comes with. For a lot of the add-ons, though, you are going to need the essentials plan. As of 2026, Housecall Pro pricing starts around the lower end for solo operators and scales upwards depending on the team size and features. And honestly, I think this is where HVAC companies really need to figure this out carefully because the price might look reasonable at first, but once you start adding more users, advanced reporting, flat rate pricing, marketing tools, financing, automations, your total monthly cost can climb pretty quickly. Still, though, compared to enterprise platforms like ServiceTitan, Housecall Pro is usually considered more approachable for smaller and mid-sized HVAC companies. And all of these, you have to hit learn more to get the pricing for it. Now, for my money, this is where you set up your payouts. You connect your bank account here, hit set up payments. This is consumer financing powered by Wisestack that costs a flat 3.9% transaction fee on the finance amount, and you receive full payment upfront when the job is completed and is available for jobs between $500 to $2,500. It's easy to use and integrated with Housecall Pro. This is where you sign up for that. It's got flexible terms, as low as 0% APR for up to 24 months. Customers can apply on their phone and get accepted in a few minutes with over an 80% approval rate. Here's where you add your card reader. Each one is $59. You can hit buy now here and it accepts all cards via swipe or chip, contactless. and Apple and Android Pay as well. It connects wirelessly via Bluetooth and Android and iOS compatible. So if you need more than one, you're obviously able to click more than that. One last thing I want to go over is the marketing button here. So you're able to add online booking here. You can set it up right there. There is a website builder through Housecall Pro, but that is an added cost, and I believe you have to have the Essentials plan at least for that. So you will have to request a demo for that exact pricing. But a lot of research has indicated that it's around $80 to $149 a month, depending on the website add-ons that you choose to run for your business. And the last item I want to go over in this section is something I highly suggest for all you business owners to do, and it is setting up and connecting your Google and Facebook accounts to Housecall Pro for reviews. So business testimonials are so valuable these days, and you definitely want to collect all those 5-star reviews that your business deserves. And this is where you go for that. And now for the pros and cons. And here's where I think Housecall Pro really stands out is that it's easy to learn. It's a clean interface, a fast scheduling and dispatching. The memberships, it's great for smaller and growing HVAC companies. And as I mentioned earlier, it feels really designed for speed and usability. Now, for the cons, because it does have its limitations as well, and some larger HVAC companies may eventually outgrow it. The reporting isn't as advanced as some enterprise platforms, and some of the add-ons can get expensive. So I've seen that some contractors mentioning wanting deeper equipment tracking and more advanced operational workflows. Overall, I can definitely see why Housecall Pro has become popular in the HVAC industry. If you're a solo operator, small HVAC company, or growing residential business, this honestly feels like one of the more balanced platforms on the market right now. It handles scheduling, dispatching, estimates, invoicing, payments, and automations pretty well without feeling overly complicated. Now, if you're running a massive multi-division operation with highly advanced reporting needs, then you may eventually outgrow it. But for a lot of HVAC companies trying to modernize operations and eliminate chaos, Housecall probably hits a really strong middle ground. I'll be posting the Housecall Pro mobile app walkthrough and a Jobber versus Housecall Pro review, so subscribe to the channel if you want more HVAC software reviews and comparisons. And if you want the full written review, pricing, breakdown, and comparisons, I'll link the BizGlow article down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.